Ladies and AI nerds, I have been getting quite a few requests to talk through my process of how I come up with these YouTube thumbnails that I've been doing lately, where I have these big elaborate YouTube thumbnails and I Photoshop my face and Imogen's face and, Cam's face over the top. And I wanted to sort of talk you through this process that I'm using. So I'm using an AI platform called MidJourney, which makes AI art. Everything you're seeing here was completely generated by AI, and then I have just stuck my face over the top. Very poorly, I might add. That's part of the charm. But we're using MidJourney. So I'm going to sort of talk you through the platform, how to get on there, how to use it. This won't be an absolutely in-depth guide to using MidJourney. There are plenty of YouTube videos on how to get the most out of it, but I'll just sort of walk you through my general process of how I make these damn things. So the first thing you want to do is go to discord.com/invite/MidJourney. And you will need to have a Discord account. You need to set all that shit up. And once you're on MidJourney, or on the Discord MidJourney, you will be greeted with this page here where you can sign up for Discord and make a username, or you can click down here, already have an account, and then you can log in. Once you have logged into the Discord server, to the MidJourney Discord server, just click on announcements or really any of these channels here. And again, this isn't going to be a full tutorial of how to use Discord or MidJourney. There are plenty of videos on YouTube for that. So click on there. At the very top, there's a little button that says show member list. Click that. And then what you want to do is scroll down to the MidJourney bot. Right click on that and click message. And now you have your nice little window with the Discord or the MidJourney bot where you can tell it to generate any sort of art that you want. And if you have a look here, you can see some previous requests that I have asked it. And what it does is you give it a little prompt or you tell it exactly what kind of art you're looking for, and then it spits out 4 different images. And these are just small little images, so you can get a little preview. And you can click to make these larger scale images, or you can try again and get something else. It basically spits out very creative, very random, different. The random is the best word that I can give you. It gives very random ideas. So if you say a man holding an apple, actually, I tell you what, I will type that in right now so you can see what I'm talking about. It will give very random things. So in order for you to give it an actual prompt, you come down here, down the bottom where it says message, and you type // and you imagine, or you can just click the button imagine up there. And then you type in what you want to see. So if I say man holding an apple, you hit enter. It takes a little bit of time to generate that, and I will pause and restart the video so you can see the full product. It usually takes, I don't know, a minute to churn out each of the 4 generations. So I'll hit pause, and we're done. That was about 30 seconds. So it spits out, like I said, kind of just like random generations. You see the guy at the top looks relatively semi-photorealistic, I guess a little bit artworky. That definitely looks like a painting. Down here, he's kind of grumpy. It's a green apple now. Before it was a red apple. So the point that I'm getting across here is if you don't give it very clear prompts, like if you're just saying something general and vague, like man holding an apple, it will just give random kind of shit like this. So you want to be a lot more specific. Let's say you wanted it to be a red apple and you wanted the man to look serious and you wanted him to be wearing a suit. Type all that shit in. So let's just type that in now so I can show you what will actually happen. So /imagine, hit enter, man wearing suit, holding red apple, looking very stern. Anything else we want to add? Let's say flowers in the background. Sun shining in the sky. And maybe we can edit man wearing suit. We'll change that to man wearing suit standing outside. There we go. So you hit enter on that. And about 30 seconds later, this is what has been spit out. So let's have a little look at this, because you'll see that sometimes MidJourney does really, really random shit. So the first one is perfect. Exactly what I asked for. Man looking stern, holding a red apple. That is a giant apple, by the way. So you could go in there and say smaller apple, holding a small red apple, sun shining in the background, standing outside. That is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted, right? It did everything we asked it for. That same sort of shit. Flowers in the background, holding a big red apple, looking very stern, wearing a business suit. Over here, see how it sometimes, and you'll see this as you play around with MidJourney, sometimes it kind of like disobeys you a little bit. Like it gets a little bit too creative for itself. You know, there's flowers in the background. You can see them down the bottom. The sun is shining. He's wearing a suit. He's obviously looking stern. There are red apples, but he's not holding them. They're kind of just like floating in the air. Same with this one here. Same shit. Flowers in the background, very stern, sun shining, outside, red apple, but he's not holding the red apples. So a fair bit of what you'll do when you use MidJourney to make, or what I do when I make the thumbnails, is I will take the prompt that I just wrote, right? This prompt here, and I will enter it multiple times so that instead of getting 4 images, I will bang that through maybe 5 times. So then I get 20 images. And you can just copy this. You know, you could right click copy, type in imagine again, enter it. Or what you can do is in the message thing, just hit the up arrow and then hit enter, and you'll see that it types in the exact same command that you just did. And so I can, you know, hit up again and hit enter, hit up again, hit enter, hit up again, hit enter, hit up again, hit enter. And it will say that you've got, you know, some jobs queued because it can only do 3 at a time. But you wait maybe 3 minutes and it will spit out all of the ones that I just typed in. You can see it currently like generating this one here. It kind of does it in multiple passes. It'll do a rough version. You can see it keeps updating until it's done. But the point is you bang through the same command like 5 or 10 times, and then you're going to get a bunch of different options. This is probably the easiest way to do it, and then you just refine it each time. So, you know, if I went through some of these and said, like, let's say I like this one here, but I wish that his tie wasn't red. I wish that it was a blue tie. I could then just go back to the drawing board and type the same thing in again, but add in wearing blue tie. And so right now, at the point that we're at with these AI models, there is a little bit of an art to them, pun intended, I guess. You do have to sort of, it's almost like a conversation. It's like a back and forwards with the AI, the same way you would do if you had an artist that was drawing some artwork for you. You would tell them what you want. Maybe they would have to ask you a couple of extra questions, and then they would do a piece of art, and then maybe you'd say, oh, can you please do a revision on this? Can you please change the person's eyes to blue? Or actually, shit, I meant that I wanted clouds in the sky. I forgot to tell you that. Could you please add that? And so it's this kind of like collaboration. So I'll make it very clear. A lot of people go into this stuff with this mindset that the AI or MidJourney can read your mind and give you exactly what you want. No, how the fuck could it read your mind? What it is doing, or a way to think about it, is it's an incredibly creative artist that sometimes gets a bit wacky and just does wild shit. But like, it's just doing its best to be as creative as it possibly can. But if you sort of like tighten the reins a little bit and say, I want exactly this and this and this and this and this, and make sure you do this and also this, then it generally speaking gives you exactly what you're looking for. And so if we look through some of the other ones that it spat out, some of these are really, really, really cool. And you'll see that sometimes it gets really fucking creative. Like this one has like leaves in the sky floating. And there are ways to, let's say you didn't want the leaves in the sky. There are ways to tell it not to do something. Like you can give it what's known as a negative prompt. So you could say no leaves in the sky. And I won't talk you through how to do that today. Again, this isn't going to be an advanced version of MidJourney. This one here, you can see he's tripping. Look at the size of that fucking apple. Holy shit. And we got a weird apple floating over here in the top right corner. This one, we got a leaf on the wind. Look at that sun. This looks like something out of like a postcard. And so this is the way that I've been generating my thumbnails, right? I just give it a bunch of different prompts. Or sorry, I give it the same prompt, but like a bunch of different times until I get something that I really like. Like you might come along and be like, oh shit, this one down here. Let's say you really like this one. You're like, holy shit, that's exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. And so what you do next is in this one here where it's being generated, right? It's generated these 4 ones here. The one that we want is down the bottom left. So that's number 3 because it goes 1 in the top left corner, 2 next to that, 3 in the bottom left corner, 4 in the bottom right. And so if you really like the bottom left one, because right now it's only like a small image, right? It's given it to you as 4 thumbnails like squashed together. What you do is you hit this button down here that says U3. U just stands for ultra. Like it'll give you an ultra HD version of that. And so this is number 3. So we hit U3 for number 3. You can also see these V's here. You can hit V3 if you want to, and it will ask you if you're sure about this. You hit submit, and what it will do is it will give you variations on the third one. So it'll kind of just tweak a few little details, and you can see some of the other ones that we generated. Holy shit, that one's cool. And so you're really just like giving it prompts multiple times and then seeing which ones you really like, and then that's the one you kind of go for. So see down here, it spat out the Ultra HD version of that. So you click on that. Down here, you click Open in Browser, and it will give you the full screen, really nice. I can use this size for thumbnails. But you might say, wait, but Andy, this isn't thumbnail dimensions. This is square. I want thumbnail dimensions. And so what you can do is you can, when you type in your prompts, and I do this for all of my prompts. So let's say we're doing this prompt here. You type in imagine, you got your prompt there. What you do is you hit space and then you type in --AR. And AR stands for aspect ratio. Then space 16:9. And so that will give you 16:9 dimensions, which is the dimensions of a YouTube thumbnail. You can also type in, whatever you want. Like you could type in 1080 by, what is it? Sorry, it's 1980. Is that right? I don't think that's right, is it? Whatever. You can type, excuse me, literally any dimensions that you want, but I type in 16:9, and then it will spit out thumbnails in the perfect dimensions that we're actually looking for. And so here's some ones that I did on previously, and you'll see all of these are in the right aspect ratio. They're all 16:9, perfect for YouTube. And now if you look at lots of these, actually, I might show you an easier way. I'll show you on here. So this is my MidJourney, I guess, history, you can say. And if you want to find your history, you just go to midjourney.com/app, and it will have all of your history. But you'll see some of these, all of these ones that I've done, are like ridiculously over the top, like holy shit, like some sort of fantasy thing. Like, what the hell is this? This is just way more creative than the ones that we had before. Some of these are like insanely eccentric. This is one that I actually ended up using. Some of these are just like fucking crazy. Like, look at all the stuff that's happening in the background. Like, these are absolutely nuts, right? To get these, what I did was I found one of my favorite photographers and sort of got it to mimic his style. So this guy here, his name is David LaChapelle, and he's probably my favorite photographer. His shit is just wild. Like, it's absolutely fucking nutty how much effort and love he puts into all of his photos. Like, look at this shit. It's so over the top. It's so like flamboyant and amazing. He's done portraits of celebrities like all the time, like Eminem. Just absolutely over the top, eccentric, crazy, lots of like floating stuff in the backgrounds. Just very, 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 very creative and very, very, very over the top. And a lot of his photos give off the vibe of like larger than life. And so I took his style, and what you can do is you can just ask MidJourney to basically copy this style. And so, for instance, this one here, which is just absolutely over the top, over his style, what I can do if I copy the prompt so that you guys can see it, and then I'll type it into the Discord, the prompt that I used to get that was 2 men with 2 attractive women, David LaChapelle style. And then I also added in the aspect ratio there. So your favorite photographers or your favorite artists or anything, if you just say their name plus style, you don't even really have to say the word style, but if you just put their name in there, what it does is it spits out images that have, whoops, I can't goddamn well type. It spits out images that are in that person's style, and it can mimic literally any artist, If I want to do the exact same prompt, let's say I wanted to do it, I don't know, Da Vinci style. I could just type in Da Vinci style. If I wanted to do, who's another famous artist? Let's do Van Gogh. So I'll type all that in, and then I'll change it to Vincent van Gogh and see how that works. Who's someone else? Picasso. God, Picasso ones will probably be a little bit crazy, but let's try that. So just literally typing in Picasso. Is that how you spell it? Yes, 1C. I was correct. Type that in. And it's really, really, really good at mimicking the artists that you like. And that's how I've been getting these sort of crazy over-the-top thumbnails that I've had. I've just been mimicking David LaChapelle style and then photoshopping my face over the top of them. So here you go. This is that same prompt, David LaChapelle style. You just see how they're absolutely fucking crazy over the top. This was literally just man with two women, and like, this is absolutely batshit insane. Look at this shit. This is like so fucking crazy good. Wild shit. Absolutely fucking wild. Let's take a look at some of the other styles that we gave it. So David LaChapelle. So this is Picasso style. And yeah, that looks like fucking Picasso. What is this? Da Vinci style. Yeah, absolutely fucking wild. That shit looks like the Mona Lisa. The same like art style. Jesus Christ. So it is so unbelievably good at like mimicking different styles. What do we do with this one? Van Gogh. Yeah, that looks like Van Gogh. It needs more flowers and needs to cut his ear off, but not too bad. Not too bad. The guy looks like a Van Gogh Indiana Jones. That's wild. And so, man, this thing is absolutely amazing at just copying someone's style. And I have this feeling this is going to open up a wormhole of like ethical issues of like, wait, but aren't you stealing the artist's work? Well, no, not technically, because it's just in their style and anyone could copy their style. And it's like, yeah, this is going to be such a gray area for a little while. At the moment, I am completely happy doing this because I am transforming it and I am putting my face over the top of these. I'm not just taking the images that it spits out. But yeah, this is going to be a really interesting area that we get into. I'll show you a couple of other things really quickly that you can do. Instead of, David LaChapelle style, let's just say we do like neon colors, cyberpunk style, and see what that spits out. I'll also do one that is palette knife style, which is like a type of painting. I guess I'll do a watercolor one just to show you guys that this thing can mimic like literally anything. Like, and it's up to you to come up with your own, like you're the artist essentially when you use this. There is going to be an entire group of people there's going to be an entire sector of people called like prompt engineers, and their entire job is just going to be to know how to talk to this thing or know how to talk to AI models and stuff and get what they want. All right, so those have been spat out, and this is the neon one. How fucking insanely cool is this? How fucking sick is this shit? This is absolutely mind-blowingly awesome. Cyberpunk style, like they all look like they're wearing cyberpunk, classic stereotype cyberpunk people, neon colors, absolutely amazing. This one is palette knife, which is, like I said, a type of painting, like a way to paint. Absolutely fucking cool as hell. I might actually use this style for some of my thumbnails in future. I think I'll probably use this one as well, the cyberpunk one, cyberpunk neon. And again, the sky is the limit. You can tell it literally anything. Whatever you can dream up, it can do. It does take a little bit of wrangling, like you have to sort of go back and forwards to really exactly nail down what it is that you want. And there are other advanced things that you can do, which I won't fully get into here. There's different functions like the describe function. You can blend two photos together using the blend function. So you could take a photo of yourself and then a photo of a particular art style and blend them together, and it will do you, but in the art style. You can use the describe function to give it an image, and then it will spit out a description of that image. So then you could use that description to generate more images that are similar to your image. So it's sort of like a way of getting extra images just like the one you have. Man, some of this shit is just wild. This is absolutely fucking cool. I really might use this style for some future ones. And then this was the watercolor one. This is just dope as hell. This is so fucking cool. I definitely am going to use this for some thumbnails as well in the future. This shit's cool. And so again, if you can dream it up, it can do it. All right, now I'll talk super briefly about the last couple of steps that I've been doing with these images. So I use MidJourney, I create some images. Again, just go into that with the idea of experimenting. It is going to take you a little while to get decent at MidJourney. You will kind of suck at it at the start. You will not know what you're doing. You will have to do multiple prompts. I have done probably 500 prompts at this time to get an understanding of how the thing actually works, to kind of figure it out. It is a bit of an art, but There are lots of YouTube channels that cover this shit, so you can just search on YouTube for MidJourney advanced tips or MidJourney tips or MidJourney's beginner guide, like any of that kind of stuff. So fuck around with it a little bit. It can make you anything, but there is an art to it. But already, as you've just seen, with me not really even putting in much effort, you can get some fucking incredible images. And really all I've been doing to make my thumbnails is, like I said, I will come up with a prompt that's like basically exactly what I want, and then I would just give it that prompt like 20 or 30 times, and then I'll look through 30 times 4 images, because it creates 4 at a time, 100 images, and I'll just go, all right, which ones of these are good? That one's fucking good, that one's got potential, that one's fucking amazing. So I'm really just doing it like as if it's a numbers game. You guys have heard me say so many times, everything in life is a numbers game. MidJourney is absolutely a numbers game. And so once I actually have an image that I like, so in this case, this was the image that I got. And to get this, what I typed in was something like man versus woman, boxing match, close up, both looking angry, red gloves, something like that, right? And I just spat out 100 images of that, and I played around with some different prompts, and I said, no, the woman should be blonde. No, she should be angrier. No, she should be more attractive. The man should be more attractive, blah, blah, blah. And I just messed around with it until I got this one, which I'm like, okay, this has fucking potential. It's very striking. It looks very good as a YouTube thumbnail. All I then did was take a photo of my face, this photo here, just trying to roughly recreate what the man was doing. So roughly the same angle, roughly the same lighting. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can kind of just clean it up afterwards, or I clean it up afterwards. Just looking roughly similar. And then you'll see it's just a process, and I'm not going to give you a full-on guide to doing this, but you just use something in Photoshop which is called masks, which basically paint out the areas of a photo you don't want. So all I have to do in this photo is just paint out everything that isn't my face, or in other words, cut out my face and just have my face on top of his face. And so, I'll show you me doing that process. So we are left with, I'll cut that one out. So we're left with this, just a head. You can see the head here. I can move it around. This is my head. So I've cut out this head, right? And then you just put it in roughly the right spot. And then you cut out some extra details, like my neck shouldn't be there. And so once those are cut out, you just have the face here. There's still a little bit behind of his face showing. And so I just made sure that I cut that out there. So there you go. And boom, done. Add a little bit of text over the top, and that's it. It's nothing fancy, nothing amazing. I did some extra things, like I made sure the color of my face matched his. So you can see before I did that, the color was just like way off like that. And so I just kind of fixed the color, brightened it up a little bit, so it just matches his face a little bit. Again, I won't go through exactly how to do that, but it really is me just taking a photo that's the same. I whack it on top. I'm intentionally doing a poor Photoshop job because I think that looks fucking hilarious. Some of the other ones that I've done, I've made it like a lot better. This one, I tried to make it look a lot more, it's not perfect, but a lot more realistic. It looks like I might actually be sitting there. But on some of them, I've tried to make them intentionally poor Photoshop. This is one I did of one of my clients in the interview that we did. You can see like his face just looks, it absolutely doesn't match this guy, but it was absolutely fucking fun to do that. I love making them look goofy like this, like it's a really poor Photoshop job. Some of the other ones that I've done, this is me clearly absolute poor Photoshop job on top of Good Looking Loser, or Chris from Good Looking Loser. And then this image over here in the background of this guy looking sad, I made that in MidJourney. So for the photo of Chris, I just took that from his website and horribly patched my face over the top. And then this is MidJourney. Some of the other ones, like this one, I got MidJourney to make the background the heart. So this is the image that it spat out of just like the pure heart. And then over the top of that, I just added cams and my faces. And so that looked like this. But we're kind of, if you notice, we're missing some of the cracks. Like if we look at the original image, see how there's all the cracks in the heart? But then when I put Cam and I over the top, we kind of cover up those cracks. So all I did was just, again, using masks, I just painted out those cracks. So it looks like we're in a little love heart. We're sad, made it slightly bigger, blurred out some of the background a little bit so I can put the text over the top of it. Absolutely perfect. Well, perfect for a goofy thumbnail. This one here, exactly the same thing. I just took this really, really, really awesome background, this photo here, And then I just put Imogen's face over the top of the woman, and I put my face over the top of me. So again, I actually did a pretty decent job with her face. That actually blends pretty damn well, doesn't it? My face, maybe not so much, but I fucking love that kind of cheesy, like, not good photoshopping, because I think it really adds to the, I don't know, the charm. So I'm not doing anything like amazing with these, just chucking it into MidJourney, coming up with some amazing prompts. I will add in again, all of these ones. When I created these, I did these in David LaChapelle style. That's why a lot of them are so over the top and creative. Like this was David LaChapelle. Okay, this one wasn't David LaChapelle. It was like portrait style of 3 women like cuddling a man. This one here, I haven't finished this one. I'm going to add my face over the top, add some text and shit, but that's David LaChapelle style. That is David LaChapelle style. Actually, no, this one isn't David LaChapelle style. This was just, I didn't put that in there. This one wasn't David LaChapelle style. This one absolutely was David LaChapelle style. And that one over here, that was just like man depressed, grungy style, edgy, dark, no colors. Like I typed all of that in. So that was David LaChapelle style. So nothing fancy, just playing around with MidJourney. If you guys enjoy this video and you want me to, actually, while I finish talking, let's have all these nice images on the screen. So if you guys enjoyed this video, that one there on the screen was David LaChapelle as well. That was me just stealing from Zelda. I just stole some, art, and then I put my fucking face over it. That one was not David LaChapelle. That was just, background, Superman, blah, blah, blah. But if you enjoyed this video and you would like me to talk more about how I've been using AI, because I have also been using ChatGPT like fucking crazy. The way that I've been using it is to brainstorm ideas for videos. And so I will also sometimes give it a concept for a video. Like I'll say, I'm doing this video on losing your virginity. And then I will ask it for talking points. And the way that I do that is I will say, give me 10 pain points, as in, points of struggle, points of suffering for guys who are virgins. Like, give me 10 fucking pain points. And the things that it spits out are just amazing. Things that I could think of if I sat there for half an hour. And that's what I've done traditionally up until this point, right? When I do a podcast, I will sit there, and one of the things that I do before every podcast is I get my mind to empathize, or I get my mind in the place of the person that I'm talking to. So if I'm doing a video for virgins, I will sit there and literally for half an hour think, what would my life be like if I was a virgin? What would it be like if I was sad? What have my virgin clients talked about? How have they felt? I've gotten to know them very deeply. Like, let me think back on all of the moments that I've had with them. And then I will go through that process where I literally get into the mind of the person that I'm talking to. I do this on every video, by the way. Like if I'm talking about business, I will have someone in particular that I'm thinking about, that I'm talking to. The video has a target audience every single video. Like if I'm talking about business advice, I'm thinking about the person who's never started a business and maybe he's sick of his job and he's so frustrated and he hates it and he's suffering and all of this. I will get myself into that mindset of that person, and then I will come up with notes, and then I will sit down and do a podcast. But ChatGPT is so fucking good at just spitting that out instantly and saving me that half an hour. And then what I can do is look through that list of like pain points that it's given me or topics that it's given me. And I can go, okay, it said, the number one pain point for a virgin is feeling like you're never going to lose your virginity and there's something wrong with you. And I can look at that and I can go, yeah, fuck, man. I remember when this client said that to me. I remember that client going through that. Yeah, I remember this guy was saying it was really hard for him. Yeah, I remember that email that guy sent me about losing his virginity and how happy he was because it proved that there's nothing wrong with him, blah, blah, blah. And I can kind of go on to my own, I can reflect on my own experiences and then talk about that in a podcast. And so basically what I'm using ChatGPT for, amongst many, many, many other things, I'm using it for a fuck ton of things. And not just ChatGPT, but some of the other AIs as well. What I'm using it for the most is that initial, it's almost like I use it as a collaborative tool. It's almost like I have somebody else sitting there with me and we're just going back and forwards and collaborating to come up with the concept for a video. This is exactly what I do with Imogen when we sit down for a video, or sometimes when she's not even on the video, I would just collaborate with her to come up with the concept for a video that I record by myself. I am doing the same thing with Cam. All the videos that I record with Cam, and if you haven't seen some of those, Actually, a lot of them you guys wouldn't have seen because they're for like members only. So we have them just in the coaching program, like proper training and stuff. Anyway, the videos that I've done with Cam, we will sit there and brainstorm and we'll go back and forwards and collaborate and say, what about this? No, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Do this. It's like I now have ChatGPT to do that for me. And I still prefer to collaborate with Cam because I just love the way his fucking brain works. I still prefer to collaborate with Imogen. I think I am someone that will always love the human touch. I love humans. I love humanity. I wouldn't say I'm super extroverted. Maybe I am extroverted. I love talking to everybody. I just fucking love people. Right? I love people. So I love that. But when they're not there, which is 90% of my videos, I can just use ChatGPT as like a sounding board that I can collaborate back and forwards with. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, if you guys are like, whoa, can you like walk me through that? Or if you want me to do a video on maybe some ideas that any of you could use ChatGPT for in your business, like you can get it to help with resumes, you can get it help with cover letters, you can get it to help with like emailing potential clients, like all that kind of shit. If you want a video on that, I would love to do a video on that. Just let me know. It'll probably be pretty casual like this one was, me just kind of talking and, walking you through it. It probably won't be like a professional fucking hardcore in-depth guide. There are plenty of videos on YouTube for that shit. But if you'd like me to talk about that, I would be happy to. If you would love to sign up for our coaching program, we would love to have you. As I talk or as I record this, the coaching is currently $9,000 and climbing. I'm going to stick it up with the next person that signs up, and we've already started talking with someone. So it might actually be higher than that by the time this video comes out. So just check on the coaching page, but we would love to have you there. You can lock in the price now. Any of you that are sitting there going, holy shit, like the price is just going to keep going up. Yes, it is. As we add more value to the program, we have great, big, massive fucking plans for the coaching program. If you're worried about it going up, you can lock in the price right now. If you put down a $1,000 deposit, non-refundable, you are agreeing that you're going to sign up to the coaching. But if you put that down, we will give it to you at the current price, and then you can join whenever you want. Like if you're sitting there saying now isn't the right time, lock in that fucking deposit, $1,000 deposit. Or you can, if you need a payment plan, you can sign up right now. You just tell me what payment plan you need. As long as you put in a $1,000 deposit, I'm happy to work with you and make it work. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush your goals, and have some fun with MidJourney. Even if you have no intention of using it for, thumbnails or anything like I do. It's just fucking cool to like show people. It's really fun to just say to your friends. I've done this so many times when I've hung out with my friends. I'm like, yo, what's your favorite fucking food? Or like, give me an idea for a photo, or give me an idea for a piece of art, and I'll do it. And then I'll type it in on you can use Discord on your phone. I'll type it in, I'll show them, and they'll be like, holy fucking shit, like what the fuck? Did you just generate that in 30 seconds? And you're like, yeah, motherfucker, like welcome to the future. So play around with this shit. It's so much fun. Go out there and crush your goals.